Had a bit of an exciting week. If you read Abouts, you'll know that I have an agent, and if you've watched the first video of this little channel, you'll know that I have a novella out. It's like a dark psychological sci-fi. That's what I write. I write sci-fi. Anyway, this week on Wednesday, my announcement came out in Publishers Marketplace. I have signed a deal with Titan Books for 2 sci-fis, one coming out in 2016, one in 2017. They are called Escapology and Virology, and I'm kind of over the moon. So yeah, you'll just have to excuse my overexcitement. Professional author status achieved. This has like been my dream since I was 15 years old, so yeah. Calming down now. So, Uprooted by Naomi Novik. As I said, I read this on a tweet from Jennifer Williams. I went and had a look at the sample on Amazon and just bought it instantaneously. Wouldn't have cared if it was £3 or 17 because that sample just sucked me in. And the book does not disappoint. It is just wonderful. To start off with, it's a really, really clever inversion of the whole dragon and the village kind of trope. And the dragon in this village is a wizard that's protecting the village from the encroachment of a sort of diseased forest. This forest is sort of possessed by something that wants to overtake the whole land, and it schemes and tries to worm its way in by using people against each other. It's really, really cleverly done. There are just, beasts that come out of the forest, and there are people that go in there and come out changed, and and it's wonderful, but there's also this deeper sort of really insidious evil to it where it's scheming and plotting, and that is just extraordinary. It's wonderful. Now, the main story is a girl called Agnieszka and her friend Kasia. Every 10 years, this dragon, their wizard, takes in a new girl from one of the villages along the border of the forest, and she stays in his tower for 10 years, and at the end of that 10 years she is returned to her village, and normally after a couple of weeks she leaves to go for the cities, and they don't know why, because people who grow up in these villages, they stay in these villages, and there's deeper stuff in that as well. Anyway, Kasia is beautiful. She is the type of girl that the dragon has always picked before. They always assume that something's going on, even though the girls who are taken by this dragon insist that he never touches them. People always assume there must be something going on, because he always takes girls like Kasia, beautiful and accomplished. And so these 2 girls have known their entire lives that they were going to be present for a choosing, and Agnieszka's always known that she's going to lose Kasia. Agnieszka's kind of like, she's never been the kind of girl that the dragon would pick. She's always messy, she's always got mud on her dress, she's haphazard and never can quite keep herself together and never quite does as she's told and all this kind of stuff, so they know she's not going to be picked by the dragon. But when the choosing comes along, Agnieszka is indeed chosen because she has magic. Even though he's not been taking these girls for anything nefarious, his reasons for taking them, they've both been practical and personal. He wants company, and he's not wanted to tolerate anyone who doesn't behave well. And the girls that he's picked, they're beautiful and accomplished, and they are not willful. They do as they're told. And there's a lovely sort of inversion of that whole idea of what girls are expected to be as well, especially with Agnieszka. And he tries to teach her his kind of magic, which is very formal and restrictive, and she doesn't get along with it. I mean, at first she thinks something else entirely is going on when it's not, but once she realizes what's going on, she's just like, I can't get along with this magic. And then she finds this book by Yaga, who is of course the Baba Yaga, and that's the whole Slavic folklore thing, which I adored. Oh my god, I love it so much. Love the Baba Yaga. And the magic that's in that book is more instinctive. The ingredients and rituals are listed, but you do them in the way that feels right. And that's what feels right to Agnieszka, doing that sort of instinctive magic. And when the dragon tries to learn, because she's quite powerful, when he tries to learn what she can do, because she can do things that he thinks are impossible to do, he's quite annoyed. He tries to follow exactly what she's done, and it doesn't work, because you have to go down the path that feels right when doing that kind of magic, and that's what Agnieszka's good at. That sort of leads to them finding out what the forest is possessed by and what its schemes are, and the book does not go in any expected direction. If you watch my video about N.K. Jemisin's fantasy, I was saying in that I stopped reading fantasy when I was younger because it just bored me. It was the same stuff, the same old tropes. And I think if more fantasy now is inverting those tropes, I'm definitely going to be more drawn to it, because that's what I find interesting. I find the inversion of those tropes interesting. So yeah, full marks for that, for the wonderful underlying themes of humanity's treatment of nature, humanity's betrayal of nature, and the extra burden upon women to act in specific ways. I would thoroughly recommend that you go and pick up this book to read it. It is wonderful. The writing is beautiful. The characterization is exemplary. The plot is marvelous. Yeah, go read it. It's awesome. Next week, I am going to be talking about Margaret Atwood's The Year of the Flood, which is not a reading challenge book, just like this one wasn't. So I hope you will join me for that, and I apologise for hijacking the beginning of this review to talk about my awesome news, but I am so excited. I've literally been shouting it all over the internet, so you'll perhaps have to forgive me for wanting to shout it here as well. It's super exciting. Like I said, it's a dream come true. So I will see you next week to talk about The Year of the Flood. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.